Hi, my name is Michaela Carnley, and this is my audience for today. Today I will be speaking to you about the Samaritan Purse. So what is the Samaritan Purse? The Samaritan Purse is a charity organization that helps communities in need. They do multiple ministry projects throughout the year, and this includes International Crisis Relief, Operation Christmas Child, The Greatest Journey, U.S. Disaster Relief, World Medical Mission, Greta Home and Academy, Children Heart Project, Operation Heal Our Patriots, and lastly, Hispanic Ministries. The reason that the Samaritan Purse helps our society is because of their belief in Christ. On their website, the Samaritan Purse has up, "The story of a good Samaritan gives us a clear picture of God's desire for us to help those in desperate need wherever we find them." They even have a statement of faith that include 12 statements that include Bible verses. The history of the Samaritan Purse. Shortly after World War II, a man named Bob Pierce was traveling through Asia. At the time, he was an evangelist and a journalist for Youth for Christ. During his trip, he stumbled across many women who were living among lepers and orphans, quote unquote, sacrificing everything to share the love for Jesus Christ. This drove Bob Pierce to help those in need to share the love of Christ, as well as a man named Franklin Graham. Franklin traveled with Bob Pierce through his journeys until, unfortunately, Bob Pierce passed away of leukemia in 1978, leaving Franklin to become the president of the board for Samaritan Purse. So more about Franklin. Franklin is the current president of the Samaritan Purse. He has a particular interest in natural and man-made disasters. In his own words from the excerpt, "Comfort in the wake of the storm. These difficult events remind us that we are small and vulnerable compared to the unpredictable and uncontrollable forces in nature. They remind us of the brevity of life and the urgency to make sure that we are ready to stand before God at moment's notice." As I said before, there are multiple ministry projects, and I will be going deeper into depth about them. First up is International Crisis Relief. The Samaritan Purse is always ready to help those in need after a disaster strike. In their words, "We specialize in international disaster relief, meaning critical needs for victims of conflict, disaster, famine, and epidemics throughout the world, often working through ministry partners on the ground. They provide food and water, medicine, shelter, and basic necessities after disaster strikes for those in need." Operation Christmas Child. This is one of their well-known ministry projects, and it started all in 1993 when Franklin received a call from a man in England who was willing to help children in need by filling up shoeboxes with basic necessities and toys for Christmas. The Greatest Journey. The Greatest Journey is a ministry project that teaches children of the Operation Christmas Child a 12 discipleship lesson. In their words, "Every $6 gift provides one more child with an opportunity to learn about God's love for them as they study the Bible and are taught by a local trained teacher." U.S. Disaster Relief, a ministry project that responds to those in need after a disaster such as hurricanes, tornadoes, fire, and floods. Samaritan Purse helps with roofs, flooded homes, cutting and removing fallen trees, and more. World Medical Mission, a mission that deploys Christian healthcare workers around the globe to support dozens of partnering mission hospitals in more than 30 countries. Greta Home and Academy. In Samaritan Purse words, the Greta Home and Academy is a safe place for orphaned and vulnerable children in Haiti to receive an education to grow their faith in Jesus Christ. Children's Heart Project. In Samaritan Purse words, for 27 years, Samaritan has arranged a critical congenital heart surgery for over 1,600 boys and girls for over a dozen countries. This project provides many children with the heart surgery they need, taking children from near death to taking them from a joyful childhood with a new heart is what drives this project. Operation Heal Our Patriots. The Samaritan Purse have acknowledged the pain and grief veterans have even after being off the battlefield for years. That is why they created a ministry project to help heal them. This is why each Sunday evening in the summer, Samaritan Purse's aircraft touch down at the Samaritan Lodge, Alaska, where couples are greeted by a flag-waving crowd gathered on the gravel runway to provide military couples a space to heal. The last one of the ministries project is the Hispanic ministries. The Hispanic ministries were created in 2021 to strengthen the connection between the Samaritan Purse and Hispanic churches so they could spread more of the gospel. So, why is the Samaritan Purse a good organization? They provide people in need with supplies and resources they may not get otherwise if not for them. They help families who are struggling by getting their kids an education and basic necessities. This helps towards the community to bring joy and hope to these families. So how can you support the Samaritan Purse? You can support them through donation, volunteers, or even events. Donation helps the Samaritan Purse tremendously as it provides money for the resources they give to all these communities. Then volunteering. The Samaritan Purse has many events and ministry projects that require a lot of volunteers. And then lastly, events. Events are something people can easily volunteer with, and one of the big ones is the Christmas Child Operation. In conclusion, the Samaritan Purse is a good organization because of how it provides for the community and those in need. Thank you.